Put a finger down if you had to fly home from college, but once you got to the airport, your parents had driven 2 cars there because they were scared that you got exposed on the plane, so you had to drive 1 car home by yourself, and once you got home, they disinfected the whole car, and you were banished to your basement for 2 weeks while every meal was brought to the door, and then after 1 week, they finally let you go outside to see some sunlight, but under the condition that you had to wear a Mickey Mouse mask, and then you decided to go penny boarding, but then you fell off onto your ankle, and you were in the middle of the street screaming while still wearing your Mickey Mouse mask while scared onlookers walked past 6 feet away, and then the next day you went to urgent care upset at yourself because you're taking up square footage in a hospital during these times, but then the doctor tells you that you had broken your foot in 3 different places and she's never seen this before but only learned about it in med school, and then they tell you need surgery even though they're only doing emergency surgeries right now, and you really thought that you would go your whole life without breaking a bone because that's usually one of your fun facts, but then you decide to break 3 during a global pandemic.
Year ago, I had a doctor's appointment. Since I had the flu, they had to check my throat. And you know how when they check your throat, they put that wooden stick on your tongue and then they say, oh, well, bitch, I said, oh. The first second I felt the stick on my tongue, I gagged. And then the doctor said, 1 second, sweetie, hang in there, we will be okay. No, we weren't okay. The next second, I barfed on her. I didn't know what the fuck to do, so I took off my sweater and tried to clean the barf off of her. She got really red, and she said, 1 second, I'll be back. She never came back.
We don't really know each other, and I know you and my boyfriend are really close, but I'd appreciate it if maybe you could just stop talking to him because it makes me uncomfortable how close you guys are. So
what are you talking about?
I read through his text messages with you and I see how much you guys talk, and like he has a girlfriend.
You read through his text messages?
I mean, like, yeah, and like I saw your jillion pictures together, and it's honestly embarrassing for me to see how much you guys are like together and like how much you guys talk.
I'm sorry, who are you talking about?
My boyfriend Steven.
You mean my brother Steven?
What?
Steven's my brother.
Put a finger down if you went on a family cruise and one of the stops was in Jamaica, and that morning your dad's name was over the intercom and they were trying to find him and no one knew where he was, and you randomly ran into him up at the breakfast buffet and you asked him if he was able to talk to guest services, and he said yes. They told him that if he was to get off the boat that day that he would be arrested by the Jamaican government, and you asked him why, and he said that he was banned from the entirety of Jamaica and he somehow just had forgotten that had happened in his life at some point, and you still don't know why he is banned from the entirety of Jamaica.
This is the creepy story about the stare. A girl was on a subway late at night when she noticed a woman staring at her intensely. The woman was sitting between 2 old men. The girl kept looking away, but the woman staring never broke eye contact. It started to freak the girl out. At the next stop, a tall man in a trench coat boarded. He sat down right next to the girl. The woman who was staring paid no attention to the man who just boarded and just kept staring at the girl. Now this really creeped out the girl. The 2 men that the woman was sitting between never once looked in her direction. The girl then pretended not to notice, but each time she looked, the woman was still staring at her. At the next stop, the man in the trench coat got up to leave when suddenly he grabbed the girl's arm and dragged her out of the subway. The doors shut and the subway took off. The girl then started screaming for help, but then the man said, "Calm down. I just saved your life. I didn't mean to scare you, but I had to get you off that subway." The woman that was staring at you was dead, and the 2 men beside her were holding her up.
I'm about to share with you guys one of my most distant memories, and you can believe this or not, but I swear it's true. When I was like 3 years old, I went to the park with my family for this church activity called Picnic in the Park. Back then, I had my own little boyfriend named Ethan, and we were pretty set on marriage. But Ethan was a really messy eater, and it was disgusting. He came to me covered in ketchup and stuff from his hot dog, and naturally I called off the wedding because it's just gross. Flash forward to 2 summers ago when me and my family were watching a Vine compilation, and in this Vine compilation, the peanut butter baby shows up, and my mom was like, "Wow, it's the Browns, I totally forgot their video went viral." And I was like, Ethan Brown? And she was like, yeah, you guys were like friends when you were little. And that's how I found out that my childhood fiance was the peanut butter baby. So Ethan, if you're out there, please contact me. I want to be friends again.
Okay, so this is a story of the time that me and my friend Ava made up the dumbest plan ever, but it worked. So me and Ava were on the swim team, and we were friends with this other girl who was on the swim team, and she was throwing a party, and she said that we could sleep over, but our parents would have wanted us home if we said we were going to a party, so instead we said that we were going to a swim team sleepover at her house. So the only problem was at this time, neither of us had our license, so my boyfriend at the time was driving us, and her kitchen is, like, all windows, so her mom would have seen us getting picked up by him because she knows what his car looks like. And then she obviously would have been like, why is he driving you to the girls' swim team sleepover? So instead we said that the girl who lived down the street, who was also on the swim team, was driving us. But then we needed a reason of why we would have had to go to her house first instead of her actually picking us up, because she wasn't actually picking us up. So we said that she was making guac for the sleepover and she needed an extra avocado. So we asked Ava's mom for an avocado, and then we walked down the street with the avocado, and then we waited on the side of the street for him to pick us up, and then we went to the party and it was fine.
What did you say?
Don't say shit. Don't say shit.
He's coming with me.
No, he's not.
I haven't fucking done anything. You're gonna assault a police officer and commit a felony?
I'm not assaulting
I'm badge number 9765.
real bad.
I'm not assaulting
Let me see any other information.
I'm not fucking I don't got anything on me.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, here.
Exactly.
Here, what's this?
I didn't even drink.
Dude, please, just let us get home safely.
There you go.
I will
Look
never.
at that. What does that look like?
20 years ago. is what it
No,
looks like.
that looks like just recently. This kid is the only one who's been respectful.
I've been trying to be respectful. When you're doing that, no one's gonna be respectful. He's one of my friends.
I don't care, he's drunk.
No, he's
not young.
If a 45-year-old man, put yourself in his shoes, dude.
Cop.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That doesn't even look like a. That's a dog tag chain. What are you doing? Just let us go home. You're pissing me off. You put hands on me, I'm knocking your ass out. I swear to God.
Who's that guy?
Put your fucking hands on me, you bitch.
Hey guys, let me tell you about the time me and my two best friends accidentally snuck into the Elvis Suite penthouse in Las Vegas with a drunk couple and their private butler. This is how it all happened. It started on a road trip to Las Vegas. We had nothing to do because we weren't 21, so we decided to just go back to the hotel and explore. This is when we accidentally hopped into the penthouse elevator with a drunk couple and they took us up to their famous Elvis suite. We did think maybe they were trying to kidnap us, but we were so bored we let them take us, and we decided that they were old and we were young, so we could fight them off. We got up to the suite and they gave us a tour and explained to us how they were billionaires. This is just one of the rooms, there were so many, and then she showed us the pool that was only on their floor. And we were just really confused on why this was happening and how we even got up there. They then took us to the kitchen and told us to take any snacks or drinks we wanted, and later the private butler came and made us dessert. This is the butler, his name is Valentino. He was pretty cool, and it was just really funny. They then literally just told us, go ahead, do whatever you want, explore. So we had some photo shoots, and we played the grand piano that Elvis probably used to play, and we just freaked out about what was happening.
You may be wondering how I got in this situation. Well, in order for me to explain it, we gotta rewind about 12 hours. So right here, I was recording a Snapchat to send to my friend, and then I noticed something in the background. Wait a second. Is that David Dobrik? Turns out it was. He was really nice and we took a photo. Anyways, after that happened, my flight attendant started singing to us.
Really do love you. Thank you for flying Southwest. You guys come back and see us. Enjoy your time here.
What happened next was crazy. You see this person right here? I thought I recognized this person as soon as he sat next to me, but I wasn't quite sure who he was. You have any guesses? I'm gonna tell you. Actually, I'm gonna show you.
Sorry, I fell asleep while I was waiting on you to make me a sandwich.
Say the thing.
Sorry, I fell asleep while I was waiting on you to make me a sandwich.
So at Universal Studios Florida, there used to be a boat ride Jaws attraction based on the film. In 1990, a man on vacation fell out of the boat into the attraction. Now, normally that wouldn't be an issue. The attraction was primarily housed in 4-foot deep water. However, there are 10-foot deep spots where the sharks are. The big, scary, mechanical ones. If that wasn't terrifying enough, the man could have been sucked underneath the rails into the mechanics of the ride. And what's worse, his children were there to witness it. Thankfully, he wasn't. A crew member was able to get him back on the boat, after which the other riders started applauding because they thought it was part of the ride. I don't know, I'd think the screaming would tip you off. He sued for $1 million. The ride is of course no longer open at Universal Orlando. Holy crap, and I used to be scared of falling out of the boat of the Jungle Cruise. I mean, the only thing worse than this would be falling out of the boat into dinosaur. Oh.
Put a finger down if you went to a school with really thin walls and you were in a class that was right next to the bathroom, and one day you had really bad food poisoning, so you ran out of the classroom saying you were going gonna be sick, and you ran into the bathroom that was right next to that classroom and started blowing your hole to holy hell, and it was so loud that the whole class could hear it, and then they started laughing, and then it kept going on, so they were really concerned and sent the nurse in to help you, and she came in and made sort of sound and started throwing off all over the floor because she couldn't handle the smell, and then she slipped in it, and she cracked her head open on the stall door, and there was blood everywhere, and then she passed out, and the principal came in and started screaming.